Hello everyone and welcome back to another build order video. This time the map is Twin Rivers, and as always I'm going to give you a beginner friendly build and afterwards a more advanced build for the higher rated players. Now, a few things to note about this map is there's quite a few mass extractors. There's no hydro and there's an okay amount of reclaim. Now if you've ever played this map you probably found yourself in a power stall because building the mexes costs power. Using the mass you get from them costs power, and you are trying to get factories up as quick as possible because of the close proximity to your opponent. So because of this, I can place a factory. The engineers spending your power is just a bit too much, and so I recommend if you're starting out to make 2 early tanks just because you can't handle the amount of engineers on this pretty difficult early game map. So factory, 3 engineers, tank scout, tank scout, infinite engineers. And then the AC will make 2 power generators, 2 mass extractors, another power generator. Place a move order right there. If you don't, the AC will walk all the way to both mexes. Takes a lot of time. We're going to build 4 more power generators, another land factory, and then 3 or 4 for an air factory. First engineer will send to the right side expansion. That is some mexes and a land factory. This land factory is just to solidify the expansion, make engineers to reclaim everything that's around. Not really for your mainline unit production. Second engineer grabs a big rock on the way to the bottom, makes the mexes, makes a factory, same purpose as back here. You don't want to be building units here. And then the hydro. And engineer number 3, we're going to have reclaiming, so just place a move order, an attack move order right there. And the first tank's purpose is to defend 2 engineers. This one especially is very important to keep alive, so pay attention to that. Now that we have some mass coming in from this engineer and some extra mexes, we can send our 4th engineer to assist the ACU. And the next tank is going to cover the left side of the map. I would recommend trying to be aggressive with it. If you run straight for the expansion, there's probably a tank there, so I'm going to send it here. Second factory will make tanks. Send them to the right to defend ourselves. 5th engineer, the mex is in the corner. And again, the move order with an attack move order at the end. Then I'll send 1 engineer, right click this engineer, and sadly my engineer decided to be useless and get single trees. We're going to correct that. If you don't, it's not a big deal. As you can see, I'm not exactly in a crisis for mass. And then we're going to start making more power with this engineer. Doing it in a pattern like this makes it so the engineer doesn't have to move, but if you're just drawing a line, that's also fine. And we're going to assist that engineer. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Though I'm building quite a bit of power, it's just hard to not stall. We'll see how this ends up. The air factory, we're going to do 3 inties transport. I recommend doing this so you can get at least one of the corner islands. And once that's done, the ACU can go to the middle. The engineer can continue making factories. There you have it. It's hard to keep the build simple while still not stalling. Oh, I forgot to unassist the ACU. Alright, we're going to put 3 engineers on factories. We have the mass available to us. Send our scout out. The tank forward. And again, these are for engineers to reclaim. And so is this. If you stall power, you can decide to pause air for a little bit. Give your eco some time to recover. And we're going to expand to the middle. It's a good spot for a radar. And because of the reclaim, we're going to end it with a patrol. To keep giving our factories orders. And with any other engineers that come out, we have the power production. We have the factory production. For any more engineers that come out, you can simply send at reclaim. And the back mexes. But we've reached minute 5, so I'm going to end the build there. We've got 11 tanks, 5 scouts, 4 and a third land factories, 1 air, 23 PGens, 16 mexes. I forgot to count these 2 land factories, so 6 and a third actually. And yeah, let's move on to the more advanced build now. Alright, moving on with the advanced build. We're gonna need to speed up a bit for this one. We do 2 PGen, 2 mechs, 5 PGen land, 3 PGen another land, 4 PGen air, 1 more PGen, and then 3 factories. Factory makes 4 engineer, tank, scout, and then infinite engineers on repeat. If you're scared of labs or Salines, you can add another scout if you like. But yeah, 4th air is pretty late, so if your opponent has a bomber early, you can assume you have more tanks, and you should try to go for some counterplay on his expansion. Yeah, once the first engineer is done, I'm going to place the rally point right here. Because this engineer has a lot of reclaiming to do. Get all of the rocks down here. Build the mexes and reclaim some more. And move on to the expansion. Build the mexes and a factory. Second engineer expands along the bottom, gets the reclaim, 3 mexes, moves on to hydro. Engineer number 3, we're going to maneuver around this PGen so that it doesn't block the construction. Engineer number 4, we're moving past this mex. We are going to build it just a little later to prevent a stall. And then it expands towards the left. That's the mexes and the rocks. I'm going to send the tank to defend the right side along the bottom. It's a little safer. This is a pretty defensive build, so we're going to act like it. The 5th engineer will build the remaining mechs on the bottom, hydro, land factory, and then they split up to make 1 mechs each on the sides. Second factory makes units towards the right. 6th NG reclaim is in the middle. And at this point we're going to need to pause these 2 engineers for just a little bit. Prevent a power stall. That should be good. 7th NG makes some PGens. And this tank is going to defend the engineer in the middle. Engineer number 8 will make the 2 mexes down here, get the rock and reclaim. Next tanks will be sent along the top. Engineer will go and assist the ACU. This engineer as well, so it's not in the way of the factory. This engineer will assist the NG making PGens. About to get mass from the middle, so you can afford it. And then we shall expand towards the middle. make a radar, get the reclaim. And of course, if you do not get the middle mass or an engineer here dies, you take build power off of the factories and PGens. Pretty quick transport. Could secure at least one of the islands. I'll put a 4th engineer on power now. The reclaim here. And these factories and expansions, their main purpose is just to reclaim around the expansions. That's it really. This is probably enough power. I'm gonna make another factory here, these NGs. Queue up some more pigeons, I guess. And assist it to T2. Factory's gonna make more tanks. These engineers, once they're done assist the air factory, the ACU will make the mexes in the middle. I'm gonna completely stop pigeons, so scratch that. Alright, I'm gonna pause at minute 5. We've got 18 tanks, 5 scouts, 2 interceptors, 9 land factories, well, 8.5 more like, 7 of which are in the base. 1 is going T2, 7% done. We have an air factory, 25 pigeons, 20 mexes, and yeah, that concludes this video. So thank you for watching. I hope you found the builds educational. I hope they're easy to follow for you, and see you in the next one.